Okay, so this is what we have to do today. We're actually going to work on set operators. You must have seen set in mathematics. So today you are going to see the practical application of that set. So using set operators, objective. So after completing this lesson, you should be able to do the following. Describe set operators. Use a set operator to combine multiple queries into a single query. Control the order of rows returned. Now, these are an example of set operator. So we have union and union all. This one is union, while this one is union all. This one, the A is not complete, stops here, while the B is full, a complete cycle. Then you have the union all, which is this one. So both are full cycle coming into each other. So this is union and then this is union all. You are going to see the practical application of them. Then this is intersect. So you can see we are dealing with the yellow part. Are you with me? We are dealing with this yellow part. Now this is minus. We are still dealing with this yellow part. So these are the set operators. Then look at the explanation. Set operators combine the result of two or more component queries into one result. Queries containing set operators are called compound queries. The union that you saw, what does it do? Combine rows from both queries after eliminating duplications. So we are going to have two different select queries. Union all will return rows from both queries, including all duplications. That is the symbol you saw. Intersect return rows that are common to both queries. That was why you saw the cycle inside, the yellow inside both of them. Minus returns rows in first query that are not present in the second query. So let's go back to this. You can see this one. When you have rows in this place, and then you have the same row here, it will remove the duplicate. So that's why you are seeing that this cycle is not complete on this side. So this one return rows from both queries. So this is the first select query. This B is the second select query. Now, if there are rows in this select query that are also in this select query, it will remove those duplicates and return it only one time. That is what this one means. While this one, it will return all the rows in the first select query, and it will return all the rows in the second select query. It will not remove duplicates. So even if you have a row in this one that is also available in this select query B, it will return all of them. That is the meaning of union all. While this intersect is returning what is common between the two queries. So what is here and is here, that is what is going to return. So anything that is here, that is not here, you can see. When you see this blue part, is only in A, so it won't bring it out. The part that is only in B, it will bring it out. So what is common to the two, which is the yellow part, that is the one is going to return. That is the work of the intersect. Now they have the minus. The minus, so this is the first query, this is the second query. So it will remove everything from the second query. It will remove it from the first query. So what is remaining is what is going to return. That is what is minus. So the first query minus the second query. So that is what this write-up is telling you. Now you have guidelines for the set operator. The expressions in the select list must match in number, which means if you have 3 columns from the first select query, you must also have 3 columns from the second select query. That is what it's telling you. The data type of each column in the second query must match the data type of its corresponding column in the first query. So if you say select employee ID from the first query, the second query must also be, if the second query is also select employee ID, that means their data type must be the same. Even if the column names are not the same, the data type must be the same. That's what it's telling you. You will see it practically. Parentheses can be used to alter the sequence of execution. What that means is that all those set operators have the same precedence. So in order to separate which one will come first, You can use parentheses to do that. We will see. Other by clause can appear only at the very end of the statement. Practically, I will show you. So it is when you have concluded the first query and the second query. That is when you can now use other by clause. We will see it practically. Now, Oracle Server and the set operators. Duplicate rows are automatically eliminated except in union all. Column names from the first query appear in the result, meaning you are going to have two queries. Now, the output, what will be used as the column name of the output will be the column name of the first query. You will understand it when we do it practically. The output is sorted in ascending order by default, except in union all. So we'll also see that. Now, problems. These are problems we are going to solve. The first one is display the current and the previous job details of all employees. Display each employee only once. So automatically I put it here. We are going to use union operator to achieve that. The second one, display the current and the previous department of all employees. So we are going to use union all for this. Display the employee ID and job ID of those employees who currently have a job title that is the same as their previous one. That is, they changed jobs but have now gone back to doing the same job they did previously. You will understand this when we are solving the problem. This last one is display the employee ID of those employees who have not changed their jobs even once. Now, we are always dealing with employees. So today we are going to use two tables to achieve our goal today. The first table will be the employees table, which is this one. This one. And then we are going to use job history table, which is this one. So employees table, job history table. Now, when you look at this employees table, you look at the employee ID. The data type is number. Can you see that? If you look at this job ID, the job ID is variable character. Can you see that? The department ID is number. Now, when you click on this job history, the employee ID is equally number, so meaning data type is matching. The job ID is variable character too, meaning data type is matching with that of the employee ID. With the employee table, I mean. Department ID is number, so it's matching. So one of the requirements has been met. Their data types are the same because those are the columns we'll be using. So we'll come back here. Now I'm going to come here. Let me close this one. So I will say select star from employees. Then I will say select star from job underscore history. So I will terminate this one. I will terminate this one. So these are the two tables we are going to use. Select star from employees. If I execute this, it's my normal employee table. You can see. So I'm having employee ID, first name, last name, email, phone number, hire date. Now, if I execute the job history, so I am having this employee ID, start date, end date, job ID, department ID. Now, what is this employee history table telling me? He's talking about employees that have changed job. So you will see an employee, maybe the employee was employed as an account officer and then later became account manager. So the job position of that employee has changed. Are you with me? So that is what we are going to look at. So maybe the person was a sales rep, is now a salesman or salesman to sales rep or marketing. So we are going to see employees that have changed job, and it is the union operator that we are going to use to achieve that. So we are using the select employees table and the job history table. So anytime an employee changes job or department, it will be recorded in this job history. So we are going to find out how many employees have changed their job and those that have never changed job at all. We are going to use the union operator. Union. Then union all. and then we have this intersect, and then we have minus. So I'm just going to act as if I'm ending it. So these are the operators we are going to use. So the first one is the union operator. This is the first question. Display the current and previous job details of all employees. Display each employee only once. So I'm going to use the union operator. So I'm going to say select. Now, if you run this one, which is the employee ID, so I'm going to say select employee underscore ID, comma, job underscore ID. Are you with me? Select employee underscore ID, job underscore ID from employees. You know, this is the first query. Assuming I click on this now and I run it. See, it's showing me employee and job ID. That's what it's showing me. Okay. What I want to do now is I want to write two queries. So this one now, I'm saying select employee underscore ID, comma, job underscore ID from job underscore history. So I terminate. These are two different queries. If I run this one, I get this. If I execute this one, I get this. These are two different tables. So I want to combine this query. I want to combine this query, and I want to combine it to this query. So here I'm simply going to remove this. I will not end it here. Then I will bring the first operator, which is what? Union. So I will say union. That is it. So select employee ID, job ID from employees, union. Select employee ID, job ID from job history. This query is to answer the first question, which is this. Display the current and the previous job details of all employees. Display each employee only once. This is it. Because where I'm going to get the current job detail of the employee is the employee table. But the previous job details of the employee will have been saved in the job history. So I'm going to execute this query. Now I execute it. How many rows is it going to return? See, it's returning 115. You know, in the employees table, look, here, we have 107 employees. So it means that there are some employees that have changed job. So having them as single job ID is 107. But when you run this, our union, when you run this query, it's giving you 115. 115. So it means that there are some employees that have changed job. Now let's look at it. Look at employee 100. This employee 100 is AD press, right? 101, see, 101, 101, 101. So employee 101 was formerly an accountant. Maybe this is account officer. Now is now account manager. And now is now the vice president. Can you see? The job ID of this employee has changed 3 times. Now look at this employee 102. Formerly was vice president. Now is IT programmer. Can you see that? Or it is either he was an IT programmer before he became vice president. So look at, but the person has changed job. Now 103, 104, 105, like that. If you scroll down, you will see all of them. 206, 205. Now that is union. Union has brought out. Now what did this union do? The union removed duplicate. Now it's giving us 115. Now I'm going to use the second query, the second operator, which is what? Union all. This question, display the current and previous department of all employees. This one said, display each employee only once. When you look at this output, you can see that Is displaying this employee 3 times because the job ID is different. It's not carrying the same job ID. So employee 101 was formerly an account officer. The same employee 101 became a manager. The same employee 101 became vice president. So it's repeating it 3 times because the job ID column is not the same. When we bring back this, when we say union all is going to repeat if the job ID column is twice, as in you find it in the employee table and you also find it in the job ID table. It's going to bring it out. It's not going to filter it. It's not going to remove duplicate. That means that somebody left that job role before and he came back again to occupy it later. That is what union all will show to you. But this union is saying that if an employee was formerly an IT programmer and then became vice president and then came back to become an IT programmer, it means he's going to return that output, that IT program, just one time. But union all is going to return it twice. He was an IT programmer the first time, he became vice president, and then came back to becoming an IT programmer again. Union all will return it twice. So you will have, for when I put union all, you will have 2 columns, 2 rows that are carrying the same ID in the employee ID and the same job ID. In all this one now, there is no job ID repeating. So that is the difference. I ran the employee table to get this, and I'm running the job history table separately. But now I want to bring the employee table and the job history table together. The employee table is what will help me get the current state of the employee. What job is the employee doing now? The employee table is what will help me do that. The job history table is what will help me know what were the previous job ID of this employee. Because the job history table is the one that will record it. The employee table is only recording the current job ID. That is what the employee table is recording, current job ID. But I want to know if the employee has changed job. That will be recorded in job history. And the operator is telling us, this union operator is saying that when you want to join 2 select query, this is a select query, this is a complete select query, this is another complete select query. Now, if I'm going to join 2 select query together, I must ensure that the columns of the first select query are the same with the column of the second select query. So if I'm having employee ID here, which is the first column, job ID, which is the second column, I must also have 2 columns here. And then the data type of the columns, of the corresponding columns, must be the same. So data type for employee ID is number in the employees table. It is also number in the job history table. Job ID, data type is variable character in job ID in the employee table. Is also a variable character in job ID in the job history table. So based on this now, it is going to go to this select employee ID. It will select all the rows from this employee table. Just bringing me these 2 columns. It will select all the rows. It will now come to this job history too. It will select all the rows. But what is it doing? It will be checking, this union will be checking if the row that is selecting this job ID and this employee ID and the job ID of the job history table, it will be checking if that job ID is the same with the one that he already selected from this employee table. If they are the same, it will only return it one time. But if they are not the same, it will return both everything that is here and everything that is here. When I run this union, when I run this, look at, it's bringing out all of them, and it's bringing out how many? 115 rows, meaning additional 8 rows that are added, and they are not repeating, they are not common, they are not here and here. So that is why you are seeing that. So that is what this union does. While union all I need to do is just add the all to it. This all, meaning union all, that one is going to return all the rows from this employee table. for these two columns, employee ID and job ID, it will return all the rows. Then it will go to this one, job history table, and return all the rows too. So even if the employee ID and the job ID, even if the rows that is returned from this employee table is the same with what is in this job history table, it will still return it. It will return them twice. So if I run this one now, if I run it, how many rows is it returning? See, it's returning 117. So it means that there are two employees that is returning them twice. That is, those two employees are in the two tables. Now, another thing again that I want to tell you, the difference between the union and the union all is that, look at this union. Let's go back to the union. I'm going to run this union again. When I run this, look at this union. Union arrange my output using the employee ID, right? It arranged the output in ascending order. 100, 101. You finish that 101, 102. It went to 103, 4, 5, like that. So it is arranging my output by default in ascending order. I didn't use order by. So union arrange my output by default in ascending order. But union all does not arrange by default. So two things, union arranged by ascending order using the first column, and then it removes duplicate. Union all does not remove duplicate, and it does not arrange my output. So look at it when I run this now. Watch. You can see that it started with 206 instead of 101. Look at where 101 is. Look at where 100 is. Look at where 102 is. Look at where 109 is. Look at where 205 is. See, it's not arranging them in any order. The output of union was 115. 115, meaning it removed duplicate. While the output of all, union all, is what? Is 117. It means that there are two duplicates. There are two duplicates. That is what it means. And we will find out who are those people that are having two duplicates. Now, that is union all. This is display the employee's ID and job ID of those employees who currently have a job title that is the same as their previous one. That is, they changed job but have now gone back to doing the same job they did previously. That is what this intersect is for. So the person was initially in A, he went to B, and then came back to A. So that is what this intersect is for. Intersect is to find out who came back to do the job he or she was previously doing before. Just, I'm still joining the two tables together, but I'm changing it to intersect. So when I run it, so it's giving me two employees, employee ID, job ID. So it's giving me employee ID, job ID, 176 and 200. So employee 200, let's see. What was the employee 200 before? What is the current role of employee 200? Employee 200 is Jennifer. Jennifer is what? AD assistant. AD assistant. Now let's check job history and see what are the different job IDs Jennifer has occupied. Run this. This is the job history table. So look at Jennifer, AD assistant, AC account. So it means that Jennifer, when she was employed, was an assistant, AD assistant. And then look at 17 September 1995 to 2001. Then July 2002 to December 2006, he became an accountant. It means that Jennifer went back again to becoming an AD assistant. That is what this one is telling us. So Jennifer came back again because the current job of Jennifer now is AD assistant. So if you look at this one, from AD assistant to accountant. But when you run the employee table, you are seeing Jennifer as AD assistant, which is, if you run this, you are seeing Jennifer. currently now, you are seeing Jennifer as AD assistant. So it means Jennifer has now come back to occupy her initial role before. So, and to get that, you use this word, intersect. Now, to get employees that have never changed job before since they were employed, let me remove this. So this select employee ID from employees minus select employee ID from job history. This one is the one that is going to show us the employees that have come into the company that have never changed job. So when I run it, yeah, this is it. So it will give me 100 employees. So these 100 employees, they've never changed job. It means that 7 employees have changed job. Do you understand me? 7 employees have changed job. But these 100 employees, they've never changed job. So that is what this does. So are you with me? Yeah. So that is the whole concept. So that is the concept of set operator.